Today on the Whiskey Tornado, we are tasting Chattanooga Whiskey 111. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Lance. Today I'm really excited to taste Chattanooga Whiskey 111 with you guys. This is a bottle people are passing and they shouldn't be. So we're gonna rate it today. Here on the Whiskey Tornado, we have 6 categories. We rate them 0 to 1, 0.5 being average. We rate the nose, then we go on to the palate, then we go on to the finish, then we go on to the presentation and the availability and the value. At the end, we add them all up. 3 or better is bar worthy, 4 or better is bunker some or buy multiple bottles. So let's get into Chattanooga Whiskey. Let's move on to the nosing. All right, guys, on the nose, it is beautiful. The very first thing that hits you on the nose is cola, and then a raisin, a little bit of malt. And what happens is the more you go back to this, that raisin note and the cola note start to meld together, and it becomes almost like an oatmeal raisin cookie. So there's a little bit of cinnamon in there. Yeah, it's so much like an oatmeal raisin cookie. I mean, it smells like you're getting into a fall whiskey, so it's a perfect time to review Chattanooga 111. Oh, the nose is so beautiful. I would give it a better than average nose. I'm gonna go 0.7 on the nose. All right, guys, let's get into the palate on this. Cheers. Really viscous. Man, it's shocking. This is a 2-year-old whiskey, guys, and the amount of viscosity on it is amazing. Really oily, sticks to the glass. The first note you get on the palate is honey, which transitions into a little bit of like sugared apricots. And that mouthfeel is so good, it's almost waxy. So you get like, what is that? It's almost like walnuts. It's like a waxy walnuts. Yeah. And then there's some cinnamon. So on this palate, man, it's beautiful. You're getting honey, some sugared apricots, yeah, some cinnamon, and some walnuts with that waxy kind of mouth texture. Phenomenal, phenomenal. It's when you guys taste this, when you go into this whiskey, you've got to go into it with an open mind. You're not going to get your traditional bourbon flavors here, but it's not going to veer off the road so much that it's off-putting. It just, you know, if we're both going down the same road and bourbon goes this way, this Chattanooga whiskey, which is a straight bourbon, just veers off a little bit, but not too much. But you're not going to get just your typical like caramels and vanillas and brown sugars. It's a little different, but it's really good. What I'm loving about this is it comes from a smaller distillery, and there's none of those craft notes that I get in young distilleries, like fresh cut wood, hay, which I would expect, especially on a 2-year-old. None of that. I cannot believe this is a 2-year-old whiskey. On the palate, I'm gonna have to go 0.7 as well. It's much better than average. Just know when you go into this, it's different, it's unique, it's not your typical bourbon notes, which I welcome into whiskey. I don't want to always taste those same flavors. You kind of get that like oatmeal raisin cookie and apricots, and just it's a great fall whiskey. Let's move on to the finish. Okay, guys, on to the finish. It's dancing all over my tongue. You get that. Oh, the apricot. Honeyed apricots, really, really good. Dances on your tongue. Get that little bit of peppery spice. Better than average finish. It's still going. Like a dusty cinnamon. Yeah, dusty cinnamon. Little tannic, but not too bad. You know, the oak's not overwhelming. It's a sweet, beautiful whiskey. Man, again, we're going all 0.7s on the finish. I'm gonna go a 0.7. Better than average. All right, moving on to the appearance. The appearance, I always say a distillery's bourbon or whiskey is art, and they need to package it like artwork. If you're super proud of it, don't just put it in some crappy looking bottle with a cheap label that you didn't even put any thought into. And thank goodness Chattanooga whiskey did not do that. I love the shape of the bottle, the height of it. They have it raised, made in Chattanooga, Tennessee, real big here, so you know that it's Chattanooga whiskey. The label has a picture of their distillery. The top here has a nice old-fashioned cork, kind of like the Pikesville rye corks, which I love. They go in really easy. The back of the label is super transparent. Shows that it's yellow corn, malted rye, caramel malted barley, honey malted barley. Tells you the fermentation, the cooperage, the amount, the size of the barrels, greater than 2 years, batch size even. It tells you the batch size was 6 to 10 barrels. Just fantastic job on the packaging of the Chattanooga Whiskey 111. We're gonna rate it again a 0.7. All right, let's talk value. So what are you getting? How much is this? This bottle I found in Georgia was $34. So for $34, you know, you get 111 proof whiskey that's really dark for its age. I don't know how they're doing this. This is a distillery I have to watch, and I've been watching their master distiller on some interviews, and the guy is awesome. I love what they're doing with their experimental series, and just love everything Chattanooga Whiskey's doing. I can't wait to taste some more of their products. Only knock on this is it's 2 years, but if I didn't know it was 2 years and I just drank it, then I would think this was fantastic. So I'm gonna give the value again a 0.7. Okay, moving on to availability. Availability is the only place I can knock this. I live in Illinois, and I've never seen a bottle of this in Illinois, so maybe they just haven't moved up north yet. But in Georgia and Tennessee, I'm sure you can find this everywhere. For me, however, I've got to rate it below average since I've never seen a bottle in Illinois. We're giving it a 0.4, but I'm sure that will go up in the future. All right, guys, so that brings our total score for Chattanooga Whiskey 111 to a 3.9 out of 5. Fantastic score, definitely bar worthy, really close to bunkering some. I don't know that you need to bunker this because I'm sure they'll be producing lots of it, but I would definitely grab a couple bottles if you see it on the shelf for $34. I wish I would have. 3.9 out of 5 has got to be the highest I've rated a whiskey that's only 2 years old. So if you find a bottle of Chattanooga Whiskey 111, buy some. All right, guys, thank you so much for supporting this channel. We do have our Patreon page up and going. Thank you so much to our patrons so far. You guys are amazing. I cannot believe that you're supporting this channel the way you are. If you want to join our Patreon, join the Bourbon Crew. Click the link below in the description. We're doing tastings. I'm giving away bottles. I'm sending samples to you and some of your buddies to do bourbon tastings via Zoom. We're doing lots of special things and special blind tastings in the Patreon only page. So check that out. You can be a member for as little as $2 a month. Thank you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe. We will see you on the next video.